Last month saw the latest in a long line of school shootings in America, which of course raised the issue of gun laws in the states. But since the deadly shooting took place, which claimed the lives of 19 innocent children, one gamer has claimed there were warning signs from the shooter. Today we are discussing one gamer claiming that the Texas shooter made threats after losing at the Dead by Daylight video game. Stay tuned. First up, what exactly happened in Texas? Well, sadly, as we all know by now, the school shooting claimed the lives of 21 people. 19 of which were children. The alleged gunman, Salvador Ramos, was known to be a loner and earlier in the day, before launching the school attack, had shot his own grandmother. We have also learned that a couple of weeks prior to his sixth shooting spree, he left his job. The 18-year-old was a resident in the town of Uvalde, where the school shooting took place, and quite unbelievably to non-Americans, was actually legally allowed to purchase 2 AR platform rifles around a week before the shooting. He was also known to have then purchased ammunition for the guns around the same time, according to a briefing from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. The killer was understood to have been involved in a domestic argument, which led to the shooting of his own grandmother before he fled. He then crashed his vehicle close to Robb Elementary before heading inside with the guns he had purchased when the massacre began. It has since come to light that around 30 minutes before the killing spree began, he had written a series of Facebook messages which read, "I'm going to shoot my grandmother. I've shot my grandmother, and I'm going to shoot an elementary school." What a tragic turn of events. How many children have to die before people stop crying about their Second Amendment rights? What did this gamer have to say then? Stay with us to hear all about it. A few days after the horrific events in Uvalde, it came to light that Ramos had possibly revealed his plans to shoot up an elementary school whilst playing an online video game. The monster was thought to have been playing Dead by Daylight when another gamer heard someone making threats to shoot up a school with an AR-15, the same gun used in the attacks. It turns out the claims were made just a matter of hours before Ramos's killing spree began, with the gamer involved recording the threats and then reporting them to the FBI. And in another shocking turn of events, it was revealed that Ramos was well known for making threats of this manner whilst playing Call of Duty. However, it is yet to be confirmed whether or not the gamer was in fact Ramos, but the gamer who reported the threats commented on a Reddit thread saying, "So I have no idea if they were joking or what, but they were super angry about losing and started saying they were going to shoot up a school, and they mentioned they had some type of gun and kept saying it was going to be all of our fault." She then spoke of how she kind of brushed it off, but was also in disbelief when she learned of the events in Uvalde. What a horrific turn of events, and we can only feel sympathy for the gamer, as well as the families of those killed. What do you guys make of this? So what exactly did the threats consist of? Stay tuned. The girl was asked if she thought it was Ramos who had made the threats, to which she replied that after reporting him on the game, as well as to the relevant authorities, she went back to read over exactly what the threats said. She revealed that whoever it was extremely angry and said, "What if I shoot up a school tomorrow?" Smiley face. Horrific. She then said of how it was probably just a horrible coincidence, but also spoke of how she couldn't understand why someone would even say that. But as we know, the world is a messed up place, and you just never know what other people are thinking or planning. The girl then explained how the gun he mentioned was an AR-15 with, I think, an extended clip or something, but I don't know. "I feel horrible for those children and families," before saying how the person had gone into detail about the gun they were planning on using and that they almost certainly had some sort of in-depth gun knowledge. Of course, the family should be at the forefront of people's thoughts, but the gamer in question mustn't feel great about how this has all gone down. What a truly awful thing to have happened. What do you guys think about America's gun laws? Give us your thoughts on the situation below. So what have the FBI and game creators said? Well, of course, the FBI didn't have much to say, considering it is still an active investigation, but they did mention how they are continuing to support victims, family members, our local, state, and federal law enforcement partners, and the community of Uvalde after this horrific crime. They also spoke of how they were providing the community with all the resources they have to help Uvalde heal from this tragedy. However, Behavior Interactive, the developers behind the game, said they were not prepared to share specific details publicly. Of course, there could be a data protection issue, but they did go on to say that all reports filed by players are acted upon in a timely manner. That said, we unfortunately can't share specific details publicly. Creating a safe space where our fans feel secure is a core value for Dead by Daylight. They also went on to inform the public that they have a team dedicated to offering their players support in relation to communications issues during games, which is designed to help them if at any point they feel as though a threat might potentially spill over into a real-life situation. And in another shocking twist, a former Instagram friend of the killers claimed claimed that she knew someone that used to play Call of Duty with him online, and he would talk about school shootings all the time. But everyone on the game always thought he was joking. Appalling. What do you guys make of the FBI and game creators' statements? More fallout from the highly controversial police response now. Stick around. Shortly after the shootings, it was reported that the police chief on the scene, Pete Arredondo, had decided to wait for backup whilst the shooter was still active inside the school. And now it has since been revealed that Arredondo turned up on the scene without a police radio, which will do absolutely nothing to smooth things over with angry relatives. In the moments immediately after Ramos entered the school, it is thought there were many 911 calls made, which the police chief would, of course, have missed as he didn't have a radio. Instead, he phoned for backup on a cell phone, telling his colleagues that the shooter had an automatic rifle, but that he was contained. Of course, we have no idea why he would have said that, nor what he meant, as it is understood that he was still active at the time, which could have contributed to a slower response time. The police chief has been hugely criticized, and rightly so, with some people close to the relatives suggesting that it was his job to go into the school and subdue the shooter, an assessment which is difficult to agree with when there were innocent children being massacred. It allegedly took more than an hour for police to get into the room which the shooter was occupying, with many parents outside the school begging police to go in. Some even attempted to enter themselves, with police having to physically restrain them. Truly sad. And finally, a slight silver lining. If there is anything that can be taken from this tragedy, it is the need for gun control measures to be introduced, and quickly. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome, and the time for change is now. And thankfully, New York State is starting to get the picture. We just hope the other 49 states will now follow suit. Following the most recent massacre in Uvalde, officials in Albany have decided to act, raising the legal age of semi-automatic gun ownership from 18 to 21. Of course, there are those who have called for a widespread ban on automatic weapons, as, let's be honest here, who actually needs an automatic gun? The state also informed social media companies that they will now be required to report credible threats of violence to authorities, but critics have said it is too little, far too late. However, it is a start. Hopefully more states will take on this measure, whilst also hopefully addressing obvious mental health issues in their local communities. What do you guys think of these new measures? Let us know below. As always, thanks for stopping by today, and remember to join us again next time for some more videos. Also, why not share today's video with anyone you think might be interested, as well as subscribing to our channel so as not to miss out on more content in the future. Bye guys!